What's up, Aries, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. So guys, finally getting to your mid-months. Now everything will be back to normal in September. Just had a lot of catching up to do after taking some time off for the summer. But this is going to be from about August 15th, so we'll backtrack a little bit up to September 15th. So let's see what's going on for you guys. Now this will be for Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. Okay, and we're going to do a past, present, and future look. And it's general, whatever comes up, okay? So let's see how your energy has been developing, because you guys have had a very, very strong aura lately. So I want to make sure that the power is still continuing. Alright, so what is going on for the sign of Aries? Past, present, and future. What can we expect from the sign of Aries? It's thundering a bit outside, so you guys might hear that, but I love the rain. I love the thunder, and since I'm in Florida, I have no choice but to love it or to live with it. So let's see what's going on for you guys. Okay. Alright, so the energy we have here is the Two of Pentacles. So there's really something in your life right now that you're trying to balance out and really just trying to get a good grasp on, okay? We have the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. So for some of you, maybe it's someone who stopped talking to you, especially if it's a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Or it could just be some sort of, you know, idea that you've had or something that you've wanted to do where it's like you kept trying and you kept trying, but you haven't actually gotten to the result that you wanted just yet. But we have the Two of Wands where there's something that you're very passionate about here. It could be a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, okay? Or just something that really brings out the best of you emotionally. Okay, but you guys are really trying to stand your ground with something that you have let go of, or some sort of rejection that has happened here. For some of you, maybe it was financial burden, but you stood your ground through it, and because of that, you have victory. Okay, so let's see how things work out. Now, going into your past, the first card that we have here is the Three of Swords. Okay, so with the Three of Swords, something that's disappointing, it could be a heartbreak. So let's see what's going on here. We have the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, so something that was disappointing that you felt was just a waste of time and effort. And you have the Four of Swords, so there's this sense of disappointment. You're realizing something's a waste of time, but there's this sense of kind of like being in hiatus mode where you're really trying to think logically about how you move forward. Okay, so with this Four of Swords, you're just taking a step back, and it's not that you don't know what to do, it's just you're not going to make a move until it's something that just empirically makes sense, okay? And you have the High Priestess in the reverse, so at this point, you guys could be in a place where you're doubting yourself, you're doubting things that you already know in your heart and in your soul, and maybe that's part of it. Maybe it's part of just realizing what you're actually dealing with and, you know, putting a label on it, okay? The next card you guys have for the past is the Seven of Wands in the reverse. So this is a sense of giving up on something. It just has too much adversity, too much BS. So you guys stand your ground with giving up on it, okay? And we have the Three of Pentacles. So maybe you give up on the fact that you're building with someone, or, you know, just building something within yourself, within business. Or maybe the fact that you gave up on something that was too burdening allows you to go ahead and to, you know, build something. It's raining so hard right now. I love it. Okay. And we have the Ace of Swords in the reverse. So I really feel like something ended, and it didn't end in the most pleasant way. I feel like there was definitely a harsh exchange of words. You know, two people just, at least two people, just really going at it, having this back and forth type of arguing where you're not really listening to one another. You're just kind of yelling over one another or waiting for the other to finish talking so that you can get your point across. Okay. And we have the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Alright, so something unexpectedly hit, okay? You know, this is when we're hitting bumps in the road. This is something that we don't necessarily see coming our way. Why is this Wheel of Fortune in the reverse here? we have the King of Pentacles. So for some of you, maybe it's because of a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You know, maybe you're dealing with them, or maybe you're going towards one, or maybe for some of you this had to do with your money. Maybe somebody messed with your money in some way. Okay, but we have the Page of Wands here, so there is some sort of offer that you guys make or something that you're trying to build here, but it causes a lot of chaos. Okay, with the Queen of Swords, there could be a Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini involved in here somehow, but this could just be the energy of you or a person that you're dealing with, where someone's really going to be on guard, and they're really going to make sure to cut out any sort of bullshit coming their way. Anything that can cause even the slightest detriment to whatever it is you're trying to do. I see you guys really protecting yourselves. Okay, now in the present moment, the first card that we have is the Ace of Cups in the reverse. Okay, so either something that you're having a fallout with, something you're not continuing forward with, or maybe you guys are just straight up losing feelings for someone, or you're just not as passionate about something as you may have been in the past. And you have the Ten of Wands in the reverse. So whatever burden is attached to this loss, you guys just want to release it. You don't want to be part of it anymore. Okay, and we have the Seven of Swords in the reverse. So some sort of secret comes out here where you guys are just kind of done. Maybe emotionally you're still attached somehow, or there's something involved in this where you can't 100% close the chapter out just yet. But I see you guys really just wanting to release something and not wanting to move forward with something. Whether it's you or somebody else here, you know, there's this feeling of, you know, I've put so much into this and I haven't gotten what I deserve or what I feel I should have gotten. So I see you guys on a path of moving away from whatever, you know, could be bringing this burden in. Okay, now for the center of this entire spread and the next card for your present moment, we have the Five of Swords. So this is how everything is going to kind of connect. So there's definitely this conflict that's going on here where there can really be a lot of fighting, a lot of tension, you know, a harsh exchange of words as well. But, you know, there's two ways you can come out of it. You can be this guy right here who, you know, he's kind of standing, he's ready for battle. He's like, yo, you want something? Let's go. You know, I've been training for this. Or you can be that person in the back, you know, these wolves that are kind of just cowering away and saying, you know, I don't want to be part of this fight anymore. So it just depends on which side of the spectrum you're on. You know, are you ready to, you know, protect yourself and handle shit if you need to? Or is this just something that you don't want part in? Okay? And you have the Moon card in the reverse. So if there's any sort of secrets, if there's any uncertainty, if there's anything that just wasn't clear, everything is out on the table. At this point, you're either healing from secrets that came out, or you just have clarity to just deal with things with the more awakened mindset. But we have the King of Wands in the reverse, all right? So maybe there's someone else you want to be with in life, especially if you're in some sort of relationship, okay? Maybe you're single and dating and, you know, you feel conflicted within yourself. You know what you want. Maybe you haven't found that. For those, you know, where this has nothing to do with love, this could be a sense of either you being this way or maybe dealing with someone this way. But the King of Wands is a very, very strong figure, whether you're male or female. Just the energy is very strong. With the King of Wands being in the reverse, there's somebody here that could feel like they have a particular power over someone or over something, and in this case they could kind of be trying to abuse that power. Okay, so you just have to fit it in where it belongs. Okay, but I feel like there's a very tough decision here that you guys have to make. Okay, you're between a rock and a hard place. Now the next card we have is the Seven of Cups. So this could be a lot of choices that you have, or someone who's just throwing a lot of illusions. Okay, somebody who's trying to put a smoke screen in front of another person, or maybe against an establishment or something. So there's a sense of really needing to see things clearly and really needing to prioritize what's important and handling the important stuff first, and the stuff that's not as important, you know, it follows. Okay, with the Hierophant in the reverse, there's illusions over something, but there's just a sense of unconventionality to something. If some of you are in a marriage and a relationship, this could be the dissolution of a marriage, all right, or of a relationship, something that you don't feel is for you. Now, I always say the Hierophant is my favorite card personally, and it's not because I'm a Taurus, because this does represent Taurus as well, but it's because when you see this card, this is the universe dipping into your life and saying, okay, this was supposed to happen so I can get you here. You know, I can elevate you, whether it's bad or whether it's good. It's something that will help elevate you. When it's in the reverse, it's something that's no longer meant to be in your life. It's not going to help you to get on a higher path, to become more awakened, to really follow what your soul is intended to do in this lifetime. So there is some sort of blockage that you guys, I see you actively trying to move away from it. Why is this Hierophant in the reverse here? You have the Five of Pentacles. So some sort of rejection here, someone being left out in the cold, okay, whether it's you doing it to someone, them doing it to you. This could also be financial burden that some of you could be feeling, but there's definitely a loss. With the Five of Cups, you or someone that you're dealing with could be in a place where you're looking fully at what you have lost as opposed to what you still have going for you, okay? This person has 3 cups that has spilled on the floor. And in this card, that's what they're focused on as opposed to what they still have in their hands. Okay? And, you know, I like to look at these 2 cups, especially just with your reading. Let's look at it as like intellectual property, right? So yeah, there's a lot that you may have lost, but all the knowledge that you've acquired in your life and everything that you just know about life and just random subjects, that's something that can really be used to elevate you. Yeah, you may have lost someone, or maybe you lost something that was important to you, but nobody has taken your mind away. And if you've done something one time, you can do it again. If you loved someone hard one time, you can love another person, you know, to the same degree, even if you don't feel it right away. If you, let's say you had hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank, you made a bad investment, you lost a lot of that money. Instead of beating yourself up, say, look, I did that once, I could totally do that again. All right, so don't beat yourself up too much. Okay, now going into the future, guys, the first card we have is the King of Swords. So it could be Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini that you're dealing with someone who's going to be very powerful and very influential. Or this could just be the energy that you have where it's like, you know what, I need to take care of business right now. I don't have time for all this feelings bullshit. I don't have time for, you know, all this craziness. This is my focus. This is what I need to get done. And if you're here, or if you're here, you're not within my spectrum right now. I don't have the time for it. You know, I really need to get my shit together. And we have the Five of Wands. So with the Five of Wands, it's like you're trying to really do something, but you have kind of like a mosquito in your ear where it's like, oh my God, I'm just trying to work out, or I'm just trying to do this. And it's like, I keep trying to swat you, but I can't find you. So this isn't necessarily a hard energy to deal with. It's just that this is, it's annoying more than anything. It's a lot of pettiness, arguing, bickering, back and forth. Most of the time it's because of a situation that involves 3 or more people. But here, you know, you just kind of want to stand your ground against it. Okay, and you have the Nine of Swords. So it's just something that's on your mind a lot. It's kind of, I feel at this point, is just really stressing you out. And the way that you guys are treating the situation, maybe in the past you've treated it in a more loving and more invested sort of way, and I was just like, oh, this shit again. Okay, so I really just see you guys not wanting to take shit the way that you may have in the past and just wanting to move forward. Okay, now with the Page of Pentacles in the reverse, you've tried with this. You've tried different ways to make this work, but nothing ever came, you know, nothing ever led to the solution that you needed. Okay, and there's the Hermit card in the reverse as your next card. So one, you guys can be really coming out of a place of limbo or solitude and, you know, just kind of going out into the world again, seeing what the world has to offer. But 2, there could be something here that you're either invested in or thinking about getting invested in where you don't have all the facts. Okay, the Hermit is someone who's going to kind of retreat in their own, you know, shell until there's something that they fully comprehend. Let's say, for example, you're taking a science test or something, okay, and you need to be very, very familiar with chapters 1 through 5. This is, you know, somebody that's not going to move until they have all their chapters down. This is somebody who gets to like chapter 3 and they're like, you know what, screw it, I want to go out drinking. You know, I should be able to do good enough on the test with the knowledge that I have now. So it's like, you're knowledgeable, but you don't have as much knowledge as you can on, you know, either a situation that's going on around you or maybe something that you need to be prepared for. And we have the Knight of Wands in the reverse. So maybe you guys are the one that are withholding something, because I really see you guys just wanting to go out. And if this is within love, this is you talking to more than one person. If this is within business, school, you know, anything where you have to be focused, maybe to get a promotion or to just get noticed, I see you guys having great ideas and, you know, wanting to put a lot out there, but the work is a little sloppy here, okay? This is someone that when you talk to them, they just instill so much passion within you, and you really believe that they can get a task done, but then they kind of show up late, or they're not as ambitious the second time around as you thought that they would be. So someone that is good at selling themselves, but not good at holding that credibility, in a sense, okay? And we have the Emperor in the reverse, which could be Aries or Virgo. All right, so in this case, there's something that you guys, you know, you particularly may be fake and dishonest about. And it doesn't always have to be something malicious. It doesn't always have to be that you're bad, although maybe some of you are seeing other people and not really wanting to put that information out there because maybe there's something that's not finished, something that you already intend to turn your back on. Or for some of you, maybe it's something here where you're not being real with yourself. Maybe you are in a place where you're unstable with certain areas in your life. Maybe you've been having a little bit too much fun and you haven't yet had that talk with yourself where it's like, yo, if I continue down this path, I'm really going to lose more than I'm willing to bargain for. So let me kind of just get my shit together and make sure that I have everything done that needs to be done before I go out and I have that drink, before I, you know, make this plan to take a trip somewhere. Okay? But for a lot of you, maybe there's a third-party situation happening, okay? For most of you, I feel like it could be on your end if this, you know, pertains to you in regards to love, where maybe you want to go towards someone else, but you haven't fully let go of someone that you're, you know, that you intend on leaving. Okay, and everything here, guys, all the energies could be vice versa. So it could be you doing it to someone, which, you know, with the energies, I feel like for a lot of you it could be that, but it could also be vice versa, where you're in something and there's someone who has their foot, you know, halfway out the door and halfway in the door of someone else's house. Okay, but they haven't really told you that yet, or maybe you're just trying to ignore that, and maybe that's where the fakeness comes in. Maybe you're not being truthful with yourself. Maybe you feel that. And maybe you're just, you know, trying to play house just a little bit longer, okay? So it can go both ways, all right? Now, the last card that we have here is the Eight of Swords. So there's something here where you guys really feel stuck and you feel trapped. And, you know, Aries, you guys have had this energy of really just wanting to do something very, very big in life. And there's just been this little mosquito around you for the past few months that I feel like they shouldn't be there, whether it's a person or a friend or, you know, a job. I just feel like there's something that is kind of getting in the way of the bigger picture that you have. And the past few months has been you guys just trying to release that energy. Even if it hasn't been the same person, maybe it's been the same type of people that you're attracting, and you're just trying to figure out, how do I change this cycle? Okay, but there's something you feel stuck in, all right? And we still have the Three of Cups at the bottom, so, you know, maybe you're stuck on someone who's with somebody else, or maybe you want to be with other people, and you're stuck with someone that you may not want to be with anymore, okay? And you have the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. So there's just this feeling of, look, I did so much here. I should have had A, B, and C by now, but this person or this job or this colleague is not doing it for me. They're just not giving me what I need. Okay, and we have the Four of Wands. So you guys know what it's going to take to be stable, to build a foundation for yourself. And you already know at this point what needs to be let go of. You know what's keeping you stuck. Now there's just a sense of having to be resilient and ending things, or to stop working or putting effort into this thing, and that's when your soul will truly be at ease. But you guys kind of have to take the energy of the Queen of Swords right now. She's not here to play. Whether you're male or female, this is, you know, someone who's about their business, and they are going to cut out anything that is detrimental to their growth. Okay, so I've been feeling this energy of like a huge breakthrough that's about to come in for you guys. And I feel like this whole thing is kind of like the Nine of Wands, where it's like you're thinking about like, shit, should I give up on this? Is this something I can really, really do? And you're trying to like chug slowly forward. but there's just been that small energy holding you back. But I really, really believe that you're at the verge of a huge breakthrough. You just have to cut that tie, you know, for good. Okay, whatever that tie is for you. Now, let's look at your guidance with our oracle cards here. We have the Oracle of Visions by Karen Marchetti for anyone who's interested. My favorite, you know, artist when it comes to tarot. So let's see. What does the sign of Aries need to hear for August mid-month 2018? All right. Very interesting. All right, guys. So there's two things we're going to look at. We're going to look at the energy that was down at the bottom. We'll look into that card. Very, very beautiful. I'm so obsessed with this. I don't know what this card means just yet. We're going to read it. Okay. But it really looks like this person is trying to maybe reach out to someone who's not there. You see kind of a ghostly figure that could have an impact on someone and how they run their lives. Okay, so we'll see what that's in, you know, reference to. And the next card that you guys have is this one. Okay, so for anyone into numerology, we're dealing with the number 28. Okay, for your energy. And number 3 for guidance. All right. So let's look into this number 28. I don't think I've ever pulled this card before. It's so beautiful. I'm absolutely obsessed with this deck, and I can't wait till I'm like 100% fluent in it. Okay? Contact, reaching out, spiritual bonds, connections. Each contact with human being is so rare, so precious, and one should preserve it. In this life, we are spirit and we are flesh. When we forget that we are both, we can suffer unnecessarily. This card can indicate a need to take time for meditation and to connect with one's higher self. This will in turn allow us to see the spiritual aspect of others more clearly and be able to reach out to them more easily. A young man stands in a contemplative mood. The mask before him indicates that he has stepped away from his usual role in life. A flame beside the mask signifies the eternity of our nature and reminds us that all we see in this earthly realm is no more than a mask. In his right hand he holds a bell jar that contains the face of a woman. Maybe she is his spirit guide or a love from a past life. She is reaching out to him with much love and tenderness. In his left hand he holds 2 batons indicating the duality of human nature. They might also indicate that he has more than enough will to move forward in his life. Wow. Oh my God, this gives me chills. Guys, you know, this is really beautiful because whether it's a soulmate or whether it's some heavy soul purpose that's there for you, it's really, really wanting to reach out to you. Okay, I saw this quote the other day that said, what you are seeking for seeks you. And I really feel like maybe you guys have made decisions in the past where it kind of threw you off course, and now your soul is like, okay, you know, we've gotten up to this point, but this isn't for you. This isn't the life that you should be living. There's something so huge out there, and you guys feel it. I've been feeling it in your readings for the past few months, that there's something so great and so big, but you're kind of getting distracted from that sole purpose. And that's the problem just with life and social media and just what we have to do on an everyday basis. And especially, you know, you guys are very helpful towards other people. You could kind of lose yourself and all of the everyday things where you forget to look in the mirror and say, okay, I know I have to go to work today from 9 to 5, or, you know I have to do this event next week for the church, or whatever it is that you're doing. But what am I truly here for? You know, just really asking those very strong existential questions as to why am I here? What am I meant to do? And you have to be honest with yourself. When's the last time that you've looked that deeply, where you said, okay, this is great and fun, but I just feel like I'm not getting further within my purpose and what I should be doing? So it's like your soul is now, you know, knocking at your door. Your spirit guide is saying, okay, look, we have something here. Let's go ahead and let's do that. And, you know, that's just very, very powerful. Just, you know, after knowing that, there's someone or something calling out to you. Maybe for a lot of you, you have that past life soulmate coming in. And maybe you, again, you feel that, but there's that sense of having to take that leap to get there. Now, with the number 3, dreams, meditation, spiritual escape. Some colors exist in dreams that are not present in the waking spectrum. Our dreams provide us with an alternate reality, limitless and unfettered. We are free to soar with angels or sink to the depths of demons, to imagine, to create, to escape the norm, to wonder and ask, what if? And to awaken refreshed and question, why not? A jester rests atop a magical box prop, her costume a nightcap and slippers. It is time now for rest and escape. Around her float magical dream catcher nets, which capture her drifting elusive imagination. Climbing up the adjacent pole are a variety of creatures, each symbolically associated with dreams in different cultures. Be wary of dreams and interpreting them falsely. They may be true visions or merely mirages of the truth that will send us further from reality. A lot of you are having spiritual awakenings right now, simply put. I feel that a lot of you have recently, and not even recently, I feel like you've been battling this for a while now, that you've been looking at yourself and saying, you know, I'm dissatisfied. And not that there's anything particularly making you feel dissatisfied, but it's just like, maybe you have the beautiful relationship everybody wants. Maybe you have the house everyone wants. Maybe you're making the good money that everybody wants, but there's still something missing. Okay, and a lot of people try to fill that void in different ways. For some people, they go to church and, you know, God will fill that gap for me. For other people, they meditate and say meditation will fill that gap for me. And that can definitely help, you know, whatever it is that you guys want to do. But guys, what this is, I feel like it's stronger than religion. I feel like it's stronger than just meditating or, you know, taking on a random hobby. I feel like this is your calling to the world. And it is now time. So things will feel uncomfortable. They won't feel right. Things will just start changing and shifting, where you guys will start hanging out with different people, or you start, you know, kind of distancing yourself from other people that you used to hang out with, and they're going to wonder why. What did I do? What did I do wrong? Why can't we just be friends? Why can't we continue this? And it's not that you want to be an asshole. It's just my soul is calling to me, and I don't think that you're part of this calling. Okay, and not saying that you guys are going to cut people off indefinitely and not come back, but there's always going to be that urge within you to find whatever your calling is. And until you find what this is, and until you listen to that spirit guide, until you listen to what your soul truly wants, I don't feel like the true happiness will come in. So there's something big here, and, you know, despite anyone that you may, you know, hurt in the process, anybody who becomes a casualty of you finding whatever your soul is calling you to do, you have to understand that, again, if you don't find what your calling is, if you don't find that connection, you're never going to truly feel whole or at peace with anyone or anything in your life. Okay? So you guys owe it to yourselves to find that. And if there's some sort of people you have to back yourself up from, you know, in order to do this, and they just want to cut you off and they don't want to be part of your life and they hate you and you're the biggest asshole on earth because you want to find your calling, then screw them. Honestly, just screw them. Okay? Not literally. That's not going to help the situation, but you really just want to make sure, you know, that you're around people who are for you. And those true friends, those genuine friends, okay? I'm not talking about just people that you pass a Friday night with. You know, do you have a friend that it's like, you know, this person knows my soul? The true people in your life will be around your side when this starts happening. And like I said, a lot of you are spiritually awakening. When you are spiritually awakening, you are going to lose a lot of people. Okay? I literally had a huge group of friends, you know, and this happened not too long ago, where I really, you know, we hung out all the time, but I never felt satisfied. And it's not that they were bad people. You know, they were a fun time. It was fun to have drinks with, but my soul got to the point where it's like, Lissette, come on, what are you doing? You're wasting your time. You're not getting anything out of this. And, you know, it came to a day where I was just, you know, I kept saying no, that I didn't want to go out. And so everyone, they took it so personally. And, you know, one day while I was going through something really heavily, just spiritually and emotionally, and I couldn't put my finger on it, but this is when the retrograde was happening, and I, you know, just a lot of stuff was not set in stone, and I needed to make sure that it was set in stone. So while I was going through all this, they're like, hey, you know, we're going to ask you this last time, like, do you want to go out with us? Because now we're starting to take it personally. And like, guys, this has nothing to do with you. Can I please have some space? All right, I really just need to figure this out. And I love y'all, but you guys, you know, I don't think you're going to understand what I'm going through. I don't think anybody will, so I just need space. And, you know, I checked maybe a week or two later. All of them have blocked me, unfollowed me, all of that. And to me, I'm laughing because I'm just so happy that I got that awakening where it's just like, I asked for space. I asked for time to figure myself out. And they took it so personally, and they dropped me because I needed to spiritually align myself. And that's the universe saying, baby girl, you're fine. That's not what you needed. And I'm just so relieved because I didn't know what to do with that situation. I was kind of in limbo with how I was going to handle it. So they handled it for me. And I'm so happy. But the thing is, I figured everything out. And I would have reached back out. But now I'm like, you know what? That's not, you know, a group of people I want to reach out to. Because if I'm at a low moment, or if I'm spiritually awakening myself, and there's things that I need to undergo on my own, and you're going to take it personally, and you're going to hold it against me, we just weren't meant to ride. And because I've been so in alignment with myself, slowly but surely I've been coming across such beautiful souls, such beautiful people, that they don't hold it against me that I'm working all the time and that sometimes I can't go out. You know, today I was invited to do something super fun, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm just so anxious. I want to work. I want to work. I love what I do. So if there's anything that is guiding you to really do something very powerful for yourself, do it. And those people who aren't going to understand, you got to understand they're not on your spiritual level. They're not understanding life the way that you see it. And when you awaken, there's just going to be a sense of the same things that you were doing in the past. It just doesn't impress you anymore. The same people that you were dealing with all the time, they just don't do it for you anymore. And it's not that you're bad. It's not that they're bad. It's just that you have to be with people who have your vibe. You have to be with people that understand that growth. Okay, so don't be afraid to have some people drop out of your life in order for you to find that. Okay, so guys, this is very powerful, and you're really, really coming into a calling. And guys, this is going to get to the point where even if you try to ignore that calling and you're just like, screw it, I don't want to deal with this right now. I just, you know, I'm happy with my life. You know, I have this beautiful house and this small picket fence, and that's just what I want. You know, I just want simplicity. That's fine. And you can ignore it for a little bit. But eventually the calling's going to get so loud where it's just going to be a huge explosion. And so many things are going to shift because the universe is not going to let you ignore this. So you can put it off for as long as you want, but eventually you're going to have to deal with it, you know, face to face. So I say just do it. Just get into it. Just deal with it. Okay? So very, very, very strong reading, guys. Now, if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, it's High Vibrations 44. And in regards to personal readings, okay, I've been letting everyone know for the past few weeks or so that, you know, I took some time off for the summer. So I really want to be realistic about, you know, the time it takes for me to get everything out and to be able to catch up at a realistic pace, you know, considering I am just one person and I read for thousands, literally. So right now, the wait time for readings are 3 to 4 weeks. Okay, now if that, you know, if you're not able to wait that long and you really need to hear from me quickly, there's 3 ways to do that. Okay, you can get an emergency reading on my website. Everything is in the link below, and my description rather. So you guys can go to my website, get an emergency reading. You'll hear from me within a day to 2 days, okay? Or you can get a same-day question on my website. It's $10. You know, you just ask me one question. I'll, you know, pull some cards for you, send you a 2 or 3 minute video with the response of whatever the question was. And then 3, if you guys have iPhone, I'm on an app called Instant Go where you can call or text me. It's the same thing, you know, just text me a question. And it charges per like characters, so just get straight into your question. And then I'll respond, you know, with whatever the answer is. You are able to call me on that as well. But to be honest, until I'm caught up, that's my last priority, because I don't want to take any new calls or new clients until I'm completely, you know, caught up and done with the clients that have already paid and been waiting. The last thing I want to let you guys know, because sometimes people get confused on my website. With the website platform that I use, it does not allow me to sell my services without a calendar. So when you guys go to book it, it's going to say, okay, you know, what time, what day do you want it? That is only to hold a spot for the reading. I don't go by that at all. So if you guys get a standard reading, give me 3 to 4 full weeks. If you guys get an emergency reading, you'll hear from me within 2 days. with a recorded video. If you guys do want to speak to me in person, just know that you have to get at least an hour reading or more, whether it's an emergency reading or a regular reading, okay? So I just don't want anyone confused, because I've had people, and this is like a true story. I had someone once, they booked a reading at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they booked it for 8:15 that morning, and I woke up like around 9, and I look at my email, and someone's like full-blown cursing me out, and they're like, you're so unprofessional, and they were just so upset, and I tried to calm them down, and I couldn't. And I'm just like, that is so unrealistic, you know? So I'm sorry, guys. In the moment I'm able to take that off, I will definitely take it off, because I know it can seem misleading. But just want to put it out there. So just pick any time. It does not matter. But I will get it out within the time that I just stated, okay? So I love you guys. Good luck with everything, you know? And just know that this is something you can't ignore anymore, okay? Take care, Aries. I love you guys.